Wherever you go, no matter how simple the activity is, there's always something that follows. Music. Whether it's in the car, in the store, or it's in a show, it's always there. When I was little, I often listened to the same stuff my parents did, because at that age you have no individuality. You're simply defined by what your parents bestow upon you. So as a kid, I loved Bruno Mars, Rihanna, and Beyonce, along with several other artists, but never understood the concept of an album, or anything other than just listening to an artist for their popular songs. Basically what I'm trying to say is I was a caveman and listened to the radio exclusively. But that all changed when I loaded up one game, NBA 2K14. This soundtrack was legendary, but amongst all of the great songs from Now or Never from Kendrick and Mary J to Started from the Bottom by Drake, there's one particular song that stood out to me. It was by an artist that sounded familiar, but the song that was playing I'd never heard of. But it was so phenomenal. It made me feel so confident. So I decided to check out more of his music, and
everybody wants to know what I would do if I didn't win. I guess we'll never know.
If young Metro don't trust you, I'm gon' shoot you. Beautiful morning, yeah, the sun in my morning, babe. Nothing in the morning. I just wanna feel liberated.
regardless of what controversy Kanye is going through at the moment, the impact his music has had on me can't be understated. In my lowest moments, he made me feel like I could carry the weight of the world on my shoulders, simply because I am who I am. I think his song Everything I Am sums up the message he empowers me with the most, where he simply states, "Everything I'm not made me everything I am." I'm not who I am due to my shortcomings, but I am who I am because of what I can accomplish in spite of them. There's so many songs that carry an emotional burden, and you can really hear it come through on his music. Whether it's a reflecting song like Streetlights or it's a braggadocious song like Can't Tell Me Nothing, Kanye always seems to have a song to better sway my mood and help me better face whatever I'm going through. I think so many more people would be more open about the impact he's had on them if he simply was a respectable person outside of his music. I'll try to keep this part brief, since if you watch my videos it's quite obvious how much I like him as an artist. I listened to so much hip-hop after discovering Kanye, and it led me to find many artists who have left an everlasting impact on me, from Kendrick Lamar, Mavi, Earl Sweatshirt, Tyler the Creator, A$AP Rocky, and many more. So much so, I would like to say the next portion of my life was heavily defined by hip-hop. I would constantly listen to hip-hop albums with little spurts of pop artists I really enjoyed, but it took me a while to venture out of this genre and style. It wouldn't be until I came across a certain album that my taste would grow to what it has become this day. And honestly, it's one of my favorite albums ever made. The sound it captures is so magnificent, every song on it is beautiful, especially my favorite one, called
Do you remember the time we were by the ocean? I didn't care if it was day or night, the world was right where I wanted. Girl, I'm sorry.
Currents by Tame Impala really opened my eyes and let me see just how creatively sound could be expressed. The emotions are present and full, from start to finish. I can feel all of it. The album feels like I'm going on a journey, learning and experiencing so many different things. Love, heartbreak, and desire, to name a few. It's so overwhelming and everything comes at you at once. But there are breaks in the album, with certain songs like Yes I'm Changing, making me feel like this chaotic existence is something and it's developing to some extent. Then the song eventually gives more chaos, but within that chaos of hard-hitting drums, there's breaks where I can see the sun over the horizon in a sort of way, like there's real purpose and meaning to the story being told, and all of that emotion brings substance. The story continues to evolve where it all accumulates into one song, that being Love Paranoia, and it feels like the climax of this journey, where everything this album has talked about is questioned, ringing true to its name. It's paranoia. Every little thing is reflected upon and questioned, and that's what happens at the end of relationships. The song ends on an endearing moment though, between two lovers, shared by the ocean side, in which Tame Impala admits his past mistakes with his lover, answering all of his questions, and it brings us into the final track. The final track of Currents is called New Person, Same Old Mistakes, and it's quite a fitting title because that's exactly what it's about. Throughout this whole entire journey, he has become a new person, although he has one fatal flaw that will bring him back to his same old mistakes. He still carries his love with him. Currents put on full display just how much instrumentation can affect an album and the perception behind it. Every second of the album was full of all types of sound, and it was just so captivating. It took me a while before an album had me feeling as captivated as this one. That was until my friend introduced me to what is today one of my favorite, if not favorite, artists of all time, and has my favorite album ever made. Funnily enough, the reason I like this album so much is the exact opposite of the reason I like Currents. The beauty of the album is in the simplicity. The instruments are on the back burner, and the focus on the voice over instrumentation as a whole is almost as if the music wasn't part of my environment itself. Everything is just so stripped back, and the experience is, in a word, different.
That's the way every day goes. Every time we've no control. If the sky is pink and white, if the ground is black and yellow, it's the same way you showed me.
When I first started listening to Frank Ocean, I found his music to be almost lifeless. I listened to Blonde, but I just couldn't get past how stripped back all the instrumentals were. But for some reason, I kept listening, again and again. I don't know what kept bringing me back, but every time I did, my love for the album grew. The Void's sound, in a sense, became ethereal, like I was a part of the experience. I just couldn't get enough of it. In a word, it was just so alluring. The lyrics and content spoke to me, and the atmosphere it created had me so immersed in the music. The narrative of Blonde from start to finish had me captivated, and the expression within the album, along with how great Frank Ocean's vocals are, all accumulated into an incredible experience. No other artist has been able to replicate it for me. Blonde was a sensational experience, from start to finish, and for me to find out he had 3 more albums for me to explore was amazing. I loved Endless, Channel Orange, and Nostalgia Ultra, but Blonde will forever hold a special place within my heart, along with Frank Ocean's music as a whole. I genuinely can't find words to help explain why his music affects me in this way. It just does. Please, Frank, we're all begging. Drop the album. We know it's somewhere. Now that brings me to present day, where I enjoy almost all types of music. I can count on music to drown out the noise around me or to elevate my mood in any way possible, and I'm still discovering new artists to do that for me. Music has had quite the effect on me from a very young age, and to this day, it still does. It can give me the strength to take on the world. It can take me away from whatever is happening in the present moment, help me deal with whatever struggle I face, or give me the motivation to keep on fighting. Whatever it is, it always seems like music can provide an outlet for me. It will forever astonish me that something as simple as sound can have such a huge impact on so many people from all different walks of life. But maybe it's because music at its core is more than sound. It's expression, it's love, it's passion, it's sorrow, it's you, it's me. In essence, music truly is a reflection of the world.